What's up, guys? American Soul here, and we're here with two Brits, two Yanks today. I'm Ian Murphy, the guest today, and let's get to it.
Wow, that's a perfect start.
Keep that in.
Wow.
Actually, keep that in.
Wow,
Yeah, so I'm British Ian.
I'm Conor Kelly, the other American.
And I'm Sam Bone, the other Brit.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Correct,
what. Bro, I'm
Murph.
so confused here. I don't know what to do.
Hey, Murph, that was incredible.
That was something from the multiverse.
Yeah, we just said, Murph, do you want to do it as a joke? And he just went with it. So I guess, yeah, now we're rolling.
There we go, man.
Wow. Yeah, we had a great episode last night with Peter Stroud. A lot of hints on who our next guest would be, Ian Murphy. And yeah, here he is, live in the flesh.
Come true.
We were actually speaking earlier because Ian has seen the previous pod, and I said, does it make it easier and put more pressure on you? Like, no, I'd rather go first. I'd rather go first and get out of the way.
Yeah, 100%.
So there's no pressure. Just going to enjoy it, have a chat, and yeah, we'll see where it takes us.
I don't know. Yesterday's episode was good. It's a lot of pressure. I'm feeling it a little bit.
You'll be all right. You'll be all
You'll
right.
be sweet, bro.
This brother's played in front of 80,000 people. He's more nervous
I
about being
guess
in the
nervous
camera.
about coming on 2 Brits, 1 Yank.
Yeah. Hey, we're going places. We're going places.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to give everyone a little background. So Ian was my roommate for 4 years at Duke, and we spent so much time together along with Elliot Hamill, who's also in our class. And yeah, we have some really funny memories, some really messy apartments along the way. And I've been saying to the boys ever since we started that, listen, we're going to have to get this guy on. And Ian had a few days off and came to visit in New Jersey, and we're going to go in New York for the weekend. And it just overlapped perfectly with you guys being here. So super
I'm jealous.
excited.
And it's actually our last night.
day.
Well, our last day in here. We're
We're
flying
going back
home in a
this
few
evening.
hours, so
Yeah.
we had to quickly squeeze this one in. Obviously, there was a few people on the grounds doing a bit of groundwork, so we were a bit nervous that this wouldn't get done, but here we are. So if you hear anything in the background, we're sorry, but we're just going to have to get on with it.
Yeah.
It's never smooth sailing, is it?
Facts.
It's never smooth sailing with the pod. One day we will have our own soundproof studio, but until then, we're going to have to put up with some stuff.
Even then, I think someone will probably go wrong.
Oh, of course.
Do you know what I'm saying? One of us will turn up late or something. And it's
Where are
just
you
like,
guys usually at when you record?
Coach and Horses, baby. Coach and Horses pub. Shout out Coach and Horses pub, Shrewd.
We probably actually will never record there again for a very long time.
That is actually so sad.
Really sad.
Damn.
Obviously, we're going to be moving to other clubs. I actually think that my club will be announced by the time this one's out.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, it should be announced by the time this one's out, so there'll be...
Why don't
yeah.
you give it a
We've had loads of
launch a
studios.
shout out now?
Just
no.
in case.
Just
Just in
in
case. You
case.
can't just in case. You never know what's going to happen.
But hey, this guy, should we tell how he signed for his club? The decision that he made.
We can talk about it.
We're on a night out and we were talking about it, and we were like, he was saying he was really leaning towards it, and he was like, should I just tell my agent that I'm doing it now?
Well, it's actually a bit worse than that, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's a lot worse than that.
It was after-
But in your defence, because you might come across bad here, you have been like really excited about this.
No,
like he
100%.
was saying it before and everything about.
But we're on a night out here, and the manager had messaged me, but it's in the morning in England, but we're on a night out, so it's probably like 2 a.m. here.
Yeah.
And we were waiting for some pizza outside this place. I was definitely not sober, and I looked at my WhatsApp and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to confirm it here and there. And I was a bit worse for wear, pressing my phone like this. And to be fair, I woke up and the message I sent was quite good.
Yeah.
Quite good, so I was pretty happy. But yeah, I signed for this new club down an alley next to a pizza place, just quietly on my phone, which is a bit of a funny thing.
That's such
Yeah.
a cool story, man. Such a cool story.
I did something similar like that this off season when I was in Vegas. So I was out with my friends and we were like walking around because Connor, like it's like a strip and you like have to walk up and down. And so my toe was like killing me and it had been killing me since like the season ended. And I was like, oh, this doesn't feel right. So I just started, like, as a joke, I'm screaming, Bosom, who's our, like, team, like, doctor or whatever. And then they're like, oh, Ian, why don't you text him? You keep complaining about it. And so I sent him a text, and wasn't the best text. But I ended up getting, like, an X-ray on it when I got back. And it had actually been broken, but it was...
Hey, sometimes on the night out, you get in your feels and you say, you know what, I have to do that.
Yeah. No, but I think Boney hammered it home for you. You were gonna sign for this club.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, let me do it. Oh, I don't know.
Let me just do it for bands
No,
or something.
no.
It was just like, oh, I'm gonna sign.
Yeah.
I'm gonna text them, and it was like, you know what? He's just texting me. I'll just confirm it.
Well, I've had a meeting with quite a few managers, and I had the most meetings with them, and like it's just local for me. It just makes sense. So that's why I decided that it was the right place to be.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably have to cut this all out if it's not announced in time.
Yeah.
But, you know, let's hope
signing and
it
getting
is.
announced Thursday, so
Okay,
it should
so
be
it
out
should
before the Peter Stroud podcast, if anything. So
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
so-
crazy.
we'll see. Time will
Yeah.
tell. Well,
There we
let's
go.
get on to this one anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ian,
Thank you, American me.
Ian, you know, we start each pod with the same question. I mean, you heard it live in the flesh yesterday. What was your first footballing memory?
For me, it was probably when I was like 6, and it was just like ASO, like the beginner level soccer, when you just throw your kid in there and then everyone's out there. And I was a striker at the time, and my team was actually sick. Like I was unreal at striker too. I was scoring like 3 goals a game or whatever. But it was like our first game that we were losing, and it was like coming to the end of it, and I knew it was like about to end. And I had a 1-on-1. I missed, and the ball was like just on the ground, and whatever, some kid's like on the ground next to it, and I just kicked this kid as hard as I could, and they were like, "Oh, son, it's done, it's done." They blew the whistle, and I got like, my mom wasn't happy about it, but yeah, that was my earliest football memory.
Throwing tantrums from early. Born winner, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Born winner.
I'll tell you what, this is someone who's very even keeled on the pitch. Like, I'm very surprised that was your first memory.
Yeah.
Also, you playing strikers might be the weirdest part of the story.
I was striker until I was like 10 or 11, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I was a striker until I was 10 or 11. I know that Peter was talking about how everyone played striker when they were younger, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I was actually good at it, but then I was like taller than everyone, and
And you went straight to centre back after?
yeah, straight to center back. I'm honestly not sure why. I think my technical ability wasn't the best back then, so he just put me back there and told me to kick people and kick the ball far, and that was it.
So I think that's
Makes
actually-
total sense.
It's a similar story to Reece Greenwich, you know. Reece Greenwich used to be
Yeah.
a striker until he was about 14. And his other brother, Jordan, he used to be a defender, and then they swapped.
No
A
way.
complete switch, yeah.
I didn't know
Really?
Jordan was a defender.
He's a
when he was
defender,
growing up.
yeah.
No way.
I have a kid on my team that played striker in college, and he played striker at Xavier until like his sophomore year, I think, and then they moved him to center back, and that's where he plays now.
Nick Haglund.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
I
crazy.
know, that's crazy.
It is not even. I remember like Matt Sheldon. Matt Sheldon is an outside back now.
Oh my
sorry,
God.
what?
Oh my God.
What?
You just heard that.
Listen. Sorry, I've been in America too long.
He called it an outside back.
I mean,
Fullback.
That's what it's called though, as well here. Like we call it outside back, but
That is
hey, at least I'm
disgusting.
not saying soccer.
Brother decided to wake up and disrespect himself on
And
pod.
us.
Listen, bro, I've been back
And the
here
listeners, unless you're Cincinnati
Hey,
listeners.
to my English listeners, American listeners will be used to it. English listeners, I'm very sorry. I won't call it soccer though, at least. But Matt Sheldon was a fullback and or was a striker in college and now a fullback. Like people, it happens all the time.
I got a great story actually about Jack Butland. So Jack Butland used to play for the same county as me, but a few years above me. And in the first half of all the county games, he'd play up front. Second half, playing goal. And he'd
Really?
like score a couple goals first half, go and protect the lead and go and goal second half.
That's mental.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know what? I think going back years, Americans, because maybe the level wasn't good growing up, all the like old national team players would play other sports. They'd play other positions, and then even like goalkeepers. Brad Friedel, for instance, was like gonna go to college for basketball, and he played for Liverpool. Played like almost 100 times for the U.S. and he almost stopped playing football at 18.
It's mental.
Like it used to
Crazy,
be.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's such a different system now. I mean, Murph, when did you stop playing other sports?
I stopped playing pretty early because I was terrible at them. I played like basketball and like baseball when I was like 8. I think that's when I stopped, and I just kept playing soccer.
You stopped that early.
Football, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, so-
good catch there.
You can call it soccer.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
you
you don't
can't.
live in England.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny. Hey, this guy, his striker instincts came out. His first start in college, was playing left wing back, scored a brace.
Damn.
That's too cold.
Damn.
Bro,
I
that-
had to. I was content with my 1 goal, but then a couple minutes later, they beat me in behind, and my guy scored. So I was like, I got to do something.
I mean, he scored the second goal.
Bro said he was content. Bro, he's like, I'm checked out. I'm done. And then Noah.
Bro, he hit the suey after his second
That's too
goal.
cold.
He wheeled away with Aiden Stanley, who
Oh,
plays
yeah.
in the USL now, and they went, suey.
Is there any way we can get that footage and put it on?
It'll be out there somewhere. Yeah,
it's
we'll
too
have
cold. We'll have to get it up.
Oh, was that you or Aiden that decided to do that?
That was me, and then next thing you know, I flipped around because when you do it, and Aiden's there next to me doing this guy.
It was a twin suit, and Aiden was not involved in the goal at all. By the way, so funny. So yeah, Murph, so you started focusing on football at 8. When did you move into the academy system?
I started playing for Golden State Academy when I think it was when I started high school. I think that's when I had started.
So around like 14.
Yeah.
And where is this, in California?
Yeah,
it's in California. It's like close-ish to where Galaxy is, but that was a bit too far for me. And so yeah, I was at Golden State. Decent team. I mean, we were beating them when we were younger, so.
It was a really good team. Like,
Yeah.
I remember, like, I knew, even in New Jersey, I knew about, like, Golden State Academy. Like, a lot of kids playing for, like, the youth national teams. Ian as well. Ian played.
Yeah.
When did you start with the national team?
I think 15.
15?
It's like under 15s, my first camp.
Yeah.
Was there any big players there?
Andrew Carlton was the biggest, and I mean, you know him at the time.
Bro,
he had so much hype around him. He
Really?
Atlanta United. Well, he was playing with the first team, wasn't he?
Bro, so Atlanta United he's from Atlanta. They became a club when he was like 16. I think he was their first ever signing.
Really?
And I think I've told you a bit about him. Mm-hmm. And he was a joke. Like, I remember in U18 in the academy, like, national final, they pulled him down from the first team and he just ran the show, scored like both goals. But yeah, I don't know really what's happening. I know he was in the USL last season, but I think he's unattached now. He's like 22.
That's crazy.
No
Yeah,
way.
He was crazy when I was there. I mean, he would.
City were after him for ages.
Serious?
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying, Murph?
No, I mean, I was just gonna say the same thing. Like when he was there, he wasn't there like all the time. Like he would kind of like go back and forth between like Atlanta and back in camp and that kind of stuff. But when he was there, it was just crazy, like different level.
So because in the academy system, you weren't assigned to a MLS academy, that probably made it easier later on. Obviously, we spoke to Stroudy yesterday about like the rights and stuff. No one had your rights for later on, did they?
Yeah, but I mean that wasn't even something I wasn't even thinking about. I wasn't even thinking about that. I mean, I knew I was playing at a good level. That was like the best level I could play at, and we were playing against Galaxy and beating them, and that's all I was really thinking about at that time.
But I guess the country's so big, isn't it? Like
massive.
There's so much distance between all the clubs, like we were saying yesterday. That just I completely understand it.
Yeah. How did it come about with you going to residency?
Honestly, I don't even remember. I think my mom got a call or an email or something. She let me know, and I mean, I was like excited about it. I had been to the camp, so I knew a bunch of the players and stuff, and I was excited for a new experience to go live in Florida for a semester, train every day, wake up. You're at IMG Academy, great facilities and everything, and yeah.
Yeah, so for a background for probably the English listeners who don't know, since the U.S. is so big, when they're preparing for the U17 World Cup, they invite maybe 40 kids to go live at IMG Academy in Florida, and like the facilities are a joke. And they used to just do that for every national team. Like I remember like Landon Donovan was there because, again, there wasn't great competition at the time, so you had to bring the best players together. And Ian was there for like 6 months, and I think who was there while you were there? Like Chris Richards he must have been there, right?
No, he wasn't there. James Sands was there. Will Sands. They're both in MLS.
Yeah, James Sands played in the Europa League final for Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like a really good experience because I'd never done anything like that. Like, especially at that age, like I wasn't in like at Galaxy or anything like that. So like I wasn't going to like the best facilities or anything like that. But then when I was there, it was just like wake up, you have like a cafeteria for you, they're making your food, you go into training, they're taking you there, high level. The games are against like colleges or other national teams, and I mean it's like good when you're young.
It's your dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
What an
To play
experience.
against other nations, isn't it? So
Yeah. Was it tough being so far from home though? I mean, it's probably like what, a 5-hour flight?
Yeah, I didn't get to go back at all. I didn't see anyone for that time, but like I guess when you're younger, it feels like a lot longer. Like now, I feel like 5-6 months isn't terrible, but I mean, when I was there, I knew at the end of it, I was miserable. I didn't want to go back.
Yeah. And well, you didn't end up going back, right? You kind of just decided that.
Yeah, that was like a big thing I had J.K. was calling me, John Kerr, the Duke coach, because I was committed at that time, and he was calling me. The U17 national team coach was calling me at the time, and I was just like, I can't go back. But I mean, there was like more than just being homesick. It was like I was playing with the second team. I was like, I'm probably not going to go to the World Cup, and I'd come back, and my team was in playoffs, and I played terribly, and I was like, I think it was like confidence, like kind of you're just like they're sticking you down there with the second team, and you kind of just like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, bro, it makes sense. You're what, 16? You're so far from home, and the number one thing in football is enjoying it. And if you're not enjoying it, there's no point kind of pushing through it.
When you don't enjoy it or don't feel comfortable, you're never going to play your best stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're never going to play your best stuff. So that is really important.
Yeah.
Really, really important. So after you decided not to return, what were the next steps?
Then I just returned to my academy team for, I think it was the last 2 years before college, and I was there. I did well, and it was good. It was good being back in that environment, and I was already committed to my college at that point, but I felt good like going into it.
But obviously, so you're committed to Duke. Duke is not close to where your home is. So were there any second thoughts about going there? Because obviously it's still far.
Yeah. Then once it got close, I was like, oh, this is like the same thing all over again. I'm gonna have to leave like everyone, especially because all my friends were like staying like local, and so
all your friends went to a school called UCR.
Yeah,
and he wanted to go there so bad.
My assistant coach for my academy team was the head coach of the UCR team, and he was telling me like, yeah, you can come if you want, and I was like. It was like tempting me, and my mom was like absolutely against it because Duke is like a great school and a great program and stuff.
This guy was actually the biggest UCR fan. I remember we used to watch their games, kind of like how you are with the League of Ireland. We used to watch their games, and because the time difference as well, like they would be kicking off maybe 11 o'clock our time if it was an 8 p.m. kickoff.
What is UCR like? Is it?
It's just like a small school in California. UC
Aaron Long went there, national team player for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he went there.
But what's it called? University of...
It's UC Riverside, right?
Yeah, University of California, Riverside.
Yeah.
Is it D1 still?
Yeah.
We actually almost played them our freshman year. If they had won their first round in the NCAA tournament, which is like the national tournament, we would have played them. Mm-hmm. And who'd we play? Pacific instead?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you come to Duke come about? Because obviously you're so far away. How did you get seen by the Duke coaches?
So they have the... like the showcases, like where all the academy teams like go to Florida, and I think that's where they noticed me, and they invited me out to like Durham and Duke, just for like a camp for a weekend, and I went out there and they offered me a scholarship, and I was like, oh, I'll do it.
I remember you were like one of the first kids in the country to get offered because I committed very early. I told you it was like my sophomore year, so like. They had to call my coach, and then the coach would call me. He was committed like 6 months before me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think after just one weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Yeah, I will say they have good talent ID over there.
Was England ever like an option, something that interested you?
Or playing in Europe.
Growing up?
I mean, it was like obviously a goal, but like for me, I don't think there's any like, there's no like path for me to like see myself being able to get there without going to college and then to the MLS and then.
Right. So college is obviously, we were touching on it yesterday, but a lot of people like to go through the college route here, didn't they?
Well, like Peter and yourself are quite lucky that they have English citizenship.
Yeah, that's right.
If you don't have it, then it's especially now in Brexit, it's so hard to come over. So if you don't have another passport, then it's so hard to break into Europe. Unless it is through like the MLS and then going that way.
Do you need like a work permit or like?
I don't.
You
have to apply for it.
It used to be nearly impossible. Actually, funny enough, Brad Friedel. Brad Friedel was the national team goalkeeper and was unbelievable. Liverpool had signed him, and he couldn't go over. No, it was Nottingham Forest with Brian Clough, they signed him and he couldn't go over.
Brian who?
Was it Clough?
Brian Clough.
2 strikes.
Okay.
3 strikes, you're out.
Whatever. Well, I know the story at least, so that counts for something. But he had 3 work permits failed before he finally went over. It used to be impossible back in the day. You had to have played 75% of your national team's fixtures for the last 2 seasons. So, especially as a goalkeeper, it's so hard to do. You have to be your country's number 1 basically to get over to England.
And now, like with all the rules as well, if you're younger than 18, it's basically impossible to come from the US. No.
Yeah.
So look at was it Cavan Sullivan?
Yeah.
He's had to sign a 4-year deal already.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I saw that deal happen, and I'm sure he's getting taken care of very well financially. But it is crazy to sign a deal with a club for 4 years in the future. That's like what we do for college. But like Pep in 4 years probably won't be there.
No.
Most of the backroom
Well, that's why
staff
Pep said he's leaving
potentially next season.
next season. Yeah.
I don't know if it's like official, but that's like all the
Yeah,
members
come
are saying
out
that.
during the week. Yeah.
So it's crazy to commit like that. But that's what we do for college. Like I told you, we were both committed in 2016, and we didn't step foot as students until 2018. It's like signing a 2-year pre-deal.
Yeah.
Like it's mental.
That's madness.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
So your first year at Duke, talk us through it.
Came in, and it was different. It was different. 'Cause when I came in, I thought I was like highly regarded because I mean I'd committed so early. But I came in and I mean I didn't play. I don't know. It was like the first 2 games really. I mean I came in.
Me and my boy were just chilling on the bench.
We were riding the pine together, and then I don't know how it came about, but I came in. I got my first like start as a wing back, and yeah, that's where they saw me ever since, and did well. I mean, you know, I scored my brace there, and they liked what they saw. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think he was you were a player that they really had high hopes for, like early on, and I think they were just like wanted to make sure you were ready, and then you were definitely ready, and then you played. But the rest of the 4 years, basically, I don't think you missed a match.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but not my position though. For
And
the
you're
first
always
3 years.
You were always playing wing back.
yeah,
My first 3 years, I was a fullback.
yeah.
So you did the whole
my
4
boy.
years then instead of what? Because Charlie only did
3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
He went early, didn't he?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was different because Ian, don't get me wrong, you were a starter and a main player, but it wasn't like for Stroudy where it's like you ever had a decision where you'd have to like leave early, right? Like
Yeah, that was never an option. I wasn't even coming into my senior year. It wasn't even like on the table about getting drafted. Really, I wasn't even thinking about it.
Really?
yeah.
Was that because you're playing out of position or?
I was out of position. I hadn't talked with anyone about anything, and so I was just like, gotta get a job.
But that's so important when we talk about Stroudy's episode yesterday where when he first started he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go play at centre half instead of playing up front.
Yeah.
And being able to play loads of different positions that you would have rather have played left wing back than not play at all, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
For the first 3 years. And then
100%.
it stood you in good stead that when you then go and play your actual position, but then settle in the team and you can then go do your thing.
Yeah, that is true. It's definitely that is like putting it in perspective, like, because obviously I was upset about not being able to play my position, but it's definitely much better than sitting on the bench. And,
Yeah. And also I feel like it probably helped you develop like the attacking side of your game. Like you scored, how many goals do you think you scored in 4 years? Like probably like 7.
Yeah.
Like you had a lot of goals.
Yeah, it was around there.
And that's definitely something scouts like to see as well. Defenders that can chip in with goals.
Yeah.
I mean, your first year as a freshman, I think you scored 4 goals in like 13, 14 starts. Like that's pretty impressive for a wing back. Yeah.
Like 4 goals, 4 assists, I think.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
Very good.
Yeah, it's
Very good for a centre half player at wing back.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
bad.
Do you start like panicking towards like the 4 years when you haven't heard anything from clubs and stuff? I'm just trying to think from my perspective. If I saw Stroudy after the 3rd year go to the MLS and like the phone's not ringing for me throughout the season, like would you start panicking going, like, when's this call gonna come
Well,
in?
like Ian said, like he thought, I'm gonna have to go get a job.
That's what I'm saying.
I
So
mean,
like,
so-
was there like any panic towards the end of that, or was you just like?
I mean,
sweet?
I'll say going into the season, it wasn't like a sense of panic.
Right.
I just wanted to go out there and do well, obviously. But I think as the season went on and I was playing my position, I was having a good season. Like people started reaching out. I was like, oh, okay, it's like a real possibility. And it kind of settled me down. But then it also kind of like made me think like I wasn't even thinking about this like
Right.
2-3 months ago. I didn't
Like-
even think this was an option, and now this whole new door is open.
And it also probably added pressure as well. You just
Yeah.
were looking forward to playing your position, and all of a sudden you've got such and such saying they're interested in you, and it's like, oh,
It happens
God.
so quickly,
Yeah, it's
doesn't
like,
it? In
God.
football, it happens so quickly.
You actually interned at a law firm that summer, didn't you?
Oh no, that was my freshman summer.
That was your freshman summer?
Lawyer.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was a lawyer for a little bit.
This guy
That's too cold.
He used to FaceTime me in
That's too
California.
cold.
He was on the longest lunch breaks known to man. He FaceTimed me for like an hour and a half. Oh, I gotta go back. I'm like, bro, like, aren't they asking where is he? Like, what's going on? But
fell asleep in the file room.
I forgot about that.
That was terrible.
That's
So
too
it's a bit
funny.
boring.
Yeah, it's terrible. And I can't even like imagine like doing that now. Like I don't know what I would do working like a 9 to 5. Like absolutely no idea. It sounds terrible. Thought of it.
Damn. No, but as well, I think one thing that lessened the pressure, definitely for me, and I think it was for you as well, was the opportunity to potentially do a 5th year elsewhere.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, if my senior year doesn't go as planned, we do have an extra year we could go back. So you know how I did a 5th year at NC State?
Yeah.
He would have done that elsewhere if
If the phone didn't ring.
yeah, if the phone didn't.
Right. I
And
get
had
you,
you
okay.
have you like started to set that up, or you?
Yeah, I had started to do it too. I set it up after you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd set mine up, and I was just seeing what schools were interested, like what would kind of, like what the coaches would say, like I want to play this position, I need to like see like the school and all that, and if the system works for me and that kind of stuff. But I talked to a decent amount of schools, honestly.
Were there any that really interested you that you thought, you know what, I can see myself there? Were there any maybe in California?
I was gonna go to Portland, University of Portland in Oregon. That was the team the school that I was gonna go to if I did go back to school.
5th year.
Yeah.
I remember I remember UCLA. I reached out to them because I told you like I was someone that I had schools reach out to me, but I was like, you know what? I have nothing to lose. If I want to go somewhere, I'll message them. And they're like, good. They actually sent a really nice note, like saying like, oh, you're a good player, but we're not really looking for grad school players at the moment. We'll let you know if anything changes. I was like, okay, fair enough. We played them in the NCAA tournament. They were very interested in Murph. And I was like, I thought they weren't doing grad school students.
I went on a visit over there. Yeah, he was showing me around. He liked me.
I was like, what's going on over here?
You can't trust any excuse, bud.
yeah, and
You
we-
can't
And it's
trust
reminded
it.
the boyfriend excuse. The
Yeah,
Barcelona
exactly.
boyfriend excuse.
And we also had a couple schools as well that we were like kind of looking at separately, but they were the same schools. So like that could have been cool. Maybe roommates for a 5th year elsewhere,
Yeah.
but it's probably time to get away from each other, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was about time. He didn't like. I was too messy. I was too messy for him.
You were too messy for Connor.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nah, Connor's
My boy
is
must
a
have
little,
been messy.
Connor is a little bit tidy though.
Yeah, I'm clean. I'm clean.
Brother, haven't you seen it when he comes into my apartment? Just flings his shoes into the
Bro,
living
You're
room.
the most messy. Come on.
No,
Come on,
don't
bro.
disrespect
I'm the most
yourself.
messy with my clothes.
Don't disrespect yourself
No,
on
I'll be
pod.
I've been
honest.
tripping
Don't.
over your things for the past 10 days.
Don't disrespect
I'll be honest,
yourself
I'll be
on
honest,
pod.
my clothes-
What did you say to that brother yesterday?
I said,
Tidy your stuff. He puts all his clothes on top of the suitcase.
yeah, I mean, that wasn't good either. But
Exactly.
No, but
That's what I'm saying
listen,
to you.
I'm the most messy with my clothes, but you're the most messy around the place. You've
How?
left rubbish in every single. You leave rubbish
Oh,
all the
bro,
time.
that's
so,
the-
what was I just cleaning up at the pool?
That was my iced coffee rubbish. I'm saying
From
like
2 days ago.
yeah, exactly. Everyone leaves a cup. Am I wrong?
Your cup. There was food there. There was everything there.
No,
You
it
even
wasn't.
left-
There was a cup, bro.
No,
In fact, I
was there
cleaned
more
your
than a
mess.
cup?
There
I
was so
cleaned
much
your mess
stuff.
up from the pool house earlier.
And I'll go again.
Murph, you
Yesterday, he's had a packet of crisps. He left a packet of crisps in the pool house on the sofa and just walked off. And the
No,
minute she was there, yes,
Yes, you did.
What crisps do I have?
the Cheetos.
That's very interesting. Damn, my boy's spitting facts. Okay, I let you off. But no, seriously, you are so messy.
Okay, bro. Okay.
And I
mean,
got Beth
listen.
to back me up.
Yeah, okay, but the thing is, it's when I'm at yours, I don't care.
He doesn't
It's not
respect
mine.
other people's
I'm
houses.
in
Yeah, no,
charge.
that's it.
Yeah,
he has no respect for other people.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, now I'm getting painted out to be the bad guy over here.
No, but
Okay.
sorry, he's so messy. How's he got away with
I am,
this?
but I'm messy in
He
everyone's.
admitted it.
I'm messy in everyone's house.
Oh, okay, so
Doesn't
never
matter.
mind. His car? Damn, that car is a disgrace.
Nah, my car's very messy.
No, but boys, I promise you, this guy's the messiest. Ian Murphy.
Serious.
This guy's.
I kept it in my room for the most part, though.
You did.
I limited my mess, and that's fine. Like I don't.
Yeah, if it's in your
not
own room, bro,
bothering
that's
anyone.
calm.
No facts.
What about the apartment that I came back to senior year?
What happened to it?
This guy left for the airport and left pasta out for 2 months.
That's not even me though. That was other people that did that.
Okay, but I came back. We drove 8 hours to the apartment. He had come actually to stay with me. This is the last time he was in New Jersey. We drive 8 hours back. We open the apartment.
This is terrible.
There's 100 flies in our sink, like just hovering. And I was like, no, I can't do this. Thankfully, Ian tested positive for COVID, and I got moved to a hotel for 10 days while he had to clean the apartment.
That was crazy though. Walking into that was crazy. That was terrible.
I bet you were fuming.
Yeah, but the funniest part was we had to go out. Like, it was like someone's birthday. So we had to drop our things. I just like took a look at it and I was like, I'll just deal with this tomorrow. And then I just slept out that night. I just slept in a friend's house. I was like, I can't go back there. And then the next morning when I went back, he got a call saying like, Ian, you've tested positive for COVID. And I had just gotten the vaccine. So I was with him for 10 days. I ended up not having it, but they made me go again. I spent like 30 days of Duke in quarantine. It was a mess.
Maybe saying that to me.
Yeah. But yeah, well, how do you look back on your experience at Duke overall? Do you view it as a positive one?
I think in the moment, as I went through it, I wasn't thinking it was a positive. Like, I think I was thinking, like they're holding me back. Maybe I should have gone somewhere else. But like looking back on it, like I wouldn't be where I am now if it weren't for that. So I think like ultimately it was like a good thing. And so looking back on it, I think it was good.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree. And listen, you started a lot more matches than me, maybe out of position, and that didn't help. But I even look back on it now as like, you know, I wouldn't be sat here with you two if things went differently. So you can always say, oh, I wish I did this, wish I did that. And at the time, wow, I wish I made a different decision. But like looking back, I mean, we're going into New York City now to hang out with like 4 of our old teammates. Like some of the closest friends I have is from that school. So
it all happens for a reason, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
So tell me about the draft process, Murph, because I was there kind of along for the whole ride. But
so this is before the draft. There's like a combine, and all the teams send scouts to the combine, and there's like, I want to say like 30 players there, maybe. 30
I think it was 44, so 44 teams of 11. I would know because I wasn't one of the 44.
He was watching from the window. Like.
Every morning I look in the mirror at all names on the board. All 44 of them.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. But continue. Sorry.
So went there. It was quick. We just had two scrimmages, I guess, and did well in them. But like in between the games, we would have like teams would like call you down and like interview you if they're like potentially interested and stuff like that. And so I talked to a few teams there. It was just like it was a crazy experience. And then fast forward, I don't know, a couple weeks, and draft comes, and I'm seeing all these center backs getting picked ahead of me, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do my 5th year, and it takes like I was picked 14th, but it takes it feels so long when you're waiting. So then obviously Cincinnati picked me up. Blessed ever since.
Talk to us about like, because I've seen it in like the NFL and stuff where you get the phone call. Did you get the phone call like when they're on the clock and they say like?
No phone call before, but they called me like right after.
Really?
So it's literally you're watching the TV and just praying to go.
And your name just comes up.
God, could you imagine the buzz?
I was checked out at that point too. I was like I was starting to get like aggravated a little bit.
Yeah.
There's like my teammates like show me the video of it like when they drafted me, and I look like shocked. Like I was like, I don't know, I was out of it.
Could you imagine the buzz when you get selected?
Yeah, and not even getting a phone call.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, they did a watch party at Duke, but I couldn't go because I was at NC State, so I had training. And I remember opening my phone and I saw like the first like 10 picks. I think there were like 6 center backs, and I was like, oh my god, like he's not gonna get drafted. And then I saw him like 14th, and I was like, let's go. I was so happy. I was like, it was so cool because I just basically been like so close to you ever since we met at like 18, and then at 22 to kind of like live the whole process with you and see it work out was like so rewarding for myself, you know. Mm-hmm. Like I was so happy for him, and yeah, bro, you've smashed it ever since. Yeah. But it's probably gone better than any of us could have imagined when he got drafted 14th.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But getting drafted doesn't guarantee that you're gonna be a pro, does it? It doesn't guarantee that you're gonna sign with them. You have to then go through the process.
Yeah, so you don't even have like a guarantee unless you're a player that's like leaving early. Those people have guaranteed contracts, but other than that, you have to come in, go to preseason with the team, and if they like you, they'll offer you a deal. If not, then
you can go back and do a 5th year.
Can you go back?
I think you can. I think
because you
can.
don't get paid. Yeah, so you can go back and do a 5th year.
The primary thing that would happen is it would be too late to go to another MLS team. You would most likely go to like USL team.
So
second
you're
division
essentially
side.
picked for a trial then.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Now listen, when they invest their first round pick in you, like especially the first half of the first round, you're in pretty good stead.
Mm-hmm.
But and it also depends on the club as well. Like there are some clubs, if they pick you in the 3rd round, it's probably not even worth going. I know someone who should have been drafted a lot higher than they were. They went in the 3rd round, and so that's probably like the 50th player selected. No, it'd be anything after the 60th. So 60th to 90th player selected. And he was like, I was basically a mannequin for preseason.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, it was just always. I went for 2 weeks. They had no plan for me, and yeah, I was just bouncing balls to the players that were signed. Yeah,
Taking the mick out of him.
yeah, it's crazy. He was fuming. Yeah, he didn't end up signing with them as well. He was just like, I'm done. But you ended up having a pretty good first preseason, right?
Yeah. Also, in that, like, it's definitely like you have to get lucky in that because, like, some teams just aren't gonna. They're not like they don't want a college player. It's not gonna fit their system, or like if you're coming into a really good team, you're gonna have a worse chance. And I went into a really good situation. I mean, they'd had 3 last place finishes in the first 3 seasons as a club, I think. So
There was basically no pressure.
yeah.
No,
yeah, I
like,
guess.
well, as little pressure as they probably can be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going into that situation
Yeah.
where they're not doing very well, so you can obviously, hopefully, come in and make a difference. It's got to be your mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like when you went. So they had become an MLS club 3 years before, but they were like one of the biggest USL clubs. Gavin Hoyt's brother actually wore number 32, which Ian wears now at Cincinnati.
Really?
Yeah,
Because Paddy Barrett, my friend, played for
Yeah.
the UCL team.
USL.
Sorry,
Yeah,
USL.
Champions League.
But yeah, he played, and that's when he got the Louisville story.
Yeah. Well, you might have to tell that right now, honestly.
Nah, I will save that for another
Yeah,
time.
we'll save it. Okay, but I remember him. Yap Stam, I think, was actually the coach the season before he went, and even he couldn't figure out like their defensive struggles. Like I think they had the worst defense in the league. So I was like, Murph, this is like the perfect team to go to. I mean, I don't know how you were feeling, but like, I feel like a lot of people would be like, oh, maybe just think about location, but it's mostly about the team. I'm sure, everyone would want to play for Inter Miami or LAFC just because Miami and LA, but Cincinnati was such an attractive club to like go to.
Yeah.
And they really do play the college kids as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
they do. They actually do use the draft. So yeah, that was like really lucky to go there.
who else got drafted that's playing there now?
Roman got drafted in that draft class with me, and Nick Marcanich.
Yeah, so Nick Marcanich is like smashing the USL now.
Yeah.
And Roman Celentano is like their starting keeper who's been called up to the US.
Wow.
Yeah, like they
So
really
a lot of trust in the college.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So how'd you find your first year? How was like the transition?
I think the biggest change was just kind of like I think I was expecting. I think I was just nervous, honestly, and it just takes a while to like get used to and feel comfortable in that like situation where you're making that jump because like when I came in, I had an ankle injury, and so I'm just watching from the sidelines at the beginning, and so I'm just like all the pressures, like even more pressure is building up than it would be. I haven't gotten to play at all, and then hop in there, do well, don't have a good session the next session. It's just like it was just like a lot of ups and downs, I think. And
Inconsistent.
yeah, it was like,
Adapting to the level when you're probably not at your peak fitness.
yeah.
Other people have been training a few weeks longer than you, and you're just trying to adapt to it. It must be so difficult.
But it must be tough as well going from uni to MLS. Like MLS is a good standard.
Yeah, it's a big jump.
Yeah.
I will say that, like, don't get me wrong, it's definitely better than uni, but uni is quite similar play style. At least, like, Duke, we played quite similar to some of the MLS teams that I've seen.
Yeah.
Like, they
What's
are,
the equivalent? Is it like, sorry, Robert, is it like 23s and making that jump to first team?
That's
rather
what I'm
than-
saying.
But not maybe not first team in League 2 or League 1
Yeah.
because they might play negative football. They might just
Yeah.
boom the ball.
Yeah.
It's still going to a first team who are actually trying to play.
Yeah.
If
yeah,
I was to equate it, I would say, like, Duke would be the equivalent of, like, maybe a championship 23s.
Okay.
And then Cincinnati, like I would say a lot of the MLS teams, Cincinnati now would be like, I think a pretty decent championship team.
Okay.
The MLS, I would say, would be like maybe low to anywhere in the championship, like low to one of the upper teams in the championship. That, again, I haven't played either level, but just from watching a ton.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say like, did you feel like college was like a step far below MLS?
I think it was just a mental hurdle. I think that was the biggest thing, honestly. Was it that big of a jump? Yeah, it was. Like in terms of like the technical ability that you're seeing, like every day when you go out to training, I think.
Were there any big names when you first went into Cincinnati that you were like, damn?
I got Jeff Cameron. We got Lucho Costa, MVP.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeff Cameron.
Jeff Cameron played for
Stoke City?
years.
Yeah.
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 You got quite close to them, didn't you?
It's my boy, man. He helped me through that season.
Yeah, it really took you.
Damn, you best be shouting out this podcast to Jeff Cameron.
That would be
yeah.
Hey, he's a character. That would be a great
Really?
future guest.
Yeah,
Man, I remember watching him when he played for the national team and stuff.
So you said about the mental barrier of you adjusting and adapting to the MLS. What about your first start, your first game?
So first game was at home, and so it was the second game of the season. The first game of the season, I actually didn't make the roster. I didn't travel. And then lost 5-1. So I guess he was like, all right, I'll get this guy on the roster. See, maybe. I didn't expect to go on because, they don't really sub center backs. So I didn't expect to go on. I came on, and I actually had like a really good 10 minutes, to be honest. I almost got an assist. You like that ball I played?
Bro,
What a ball, huh?
I don't know if he shut his eyes or something, but he smacked this ball 65 yards in the diag for someone to have a diving. I think it was Jeff Cameron.
It was Jeff Cameron.
Yeah, for Jeff Cameron to have a diving header and the keeper made a good save. It was like his first 10 minutes. I was like, I came in and I had the game on tape, so I went and watched it back, and I was like, no way. Like I didn't even expect him to play, and you almost had an assist.
Yeah, so it was an insane debut, and then next week we go to Orlando. I think our wing back had gotten hurt. I'm like, oh, okay, he played some wing back in college, we'll just give him a shot out there. I was doing well throughout the week, honestly, and then we get out there, and it's humid. It's just, I got some fast winger running at me, doing crazy moves and stuff like that, and I wasn't having a great half to begin with, but then like the nail in the coffin is like it was like the 40th minute or something like that. They just like think a cross in, and I'm just thinking that it's coming to me. I don't think there's anyone behind me. Huge guy comes flying in over me and dunks on me, and they score, and they go in at half. Coach is like, thankful for Ian for giving his first minutes. He's going to be our only change at half. But honestly, at that point, I was like, oh, like I wanted to get out of there. It was terrible. It was a terrible game.
Bro said thank you for your efforts. So you're getting whipped off.
Bro, I remember I actually lost power in my apartment. So I went out to dinner, and his mom calls me at halftime, and I'm like, oh, that can't be good. So I pick it up, and she's like, was that Ian's fault? I was like, let me go check on Twitter. I was like, yep, that was his fault.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to beat around the bush, but yeah, that was his fault.
Yeah.
But you learn from those moments, man.
Bro,
Yeah.
You learn from
you
those
bounce
moments.
back. That's one way to say it, for sure.
Yeah.
It happens so often though, where you think that you've got time, and then someone ditches you straight over the top.
Yeah.
Did he? I was gonna say, if it was the blind side, I can understand,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
he's come over the top of your dam.
Yeah.
Oh god, sorry, but that's the worst feeling in football. You see when you're at
Everyone
fault for a
celebrates, like, on the
goal.
floor. It's like,
Oh, bro.
God.
But especially, bro, in your full debut.
Oh, yeah.
But
man.
Yeah.
how did they kind of work you back in then from there?
I don't think I didn't see the field. I don't think I played again. I think it was for like a month at least. I think it was a month or two. And
Playing like reserve team matches.
I was playing second team matches. And then I'd been like traveling and everything, just like unused sub. And that's another game on the bench. We get to Atlanta, and we had just gotten there, and we're about to have video. And the coach calls me down. He's like, "Can you come down here?" And I was like, "Oh, this is weird." I don't know if I did something to get in trouble or what's going on. And he just tells me, he's like, yeah, Jeff's done his groin. We're gonna put you back out there tomorrow. And I was like, I was not expecting this, but let's go. I got to play center back, and I played well, yeah.
Similar to Stroudy, actually.
Yeah, he balled out as well.
Really?
Played
Bro,
well, yeah.
got interviewed on ESPN after it was on national TV.
Ooh, cold.
I think it was better that it happened that way, because then it's like I wasn't thinking about it again all week. It wasn't going to be like, because then if I was like thinking about it all week, then I'd been like, oh, what if it's like last time or this, and then just found out the night before, and I was able to go out there and just play.
Was that your first ever interview after a game? Like live interview?
I mean, they do the ones in college, but those aren't
No, of
like
course,
real.
this
Those
is-
aren't real. Yeah, this was like my first like real one.
And how was it?
I was trying to be like professional. I didn't know if I was it was terrible.
I remember watching and just being like, oh my God, it's so funny, like how different he speaks on the camera then to like off camera. But bro, you did well. I mean, it must be nerve-wracking. Because we've only done stuff to like a small audience that we can like change if anything happens. But you're live.
Yeah.
On
no going back.
ESPN, that's into every home in the U.S. Like, that is scary stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was about to brag about mine, doing it live on Sky Sports, but don't think it touches it.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
That is
But
pretty
even
big,
yours
bro.
on Sky Sports is not actually live. Remember,
It
it was
was
on
like
like
a- it was
3
like a-
minutes after. So they can
No,
take...
it wasn't. It was live. It was like a
30 seconds, maybe.
no. It was like a 5 second delay, like 5 to 10 second delay. You remember because I ran on the bus,
You ran on the bus and watched the end of it.
and that's what I mean. You remember we were leaving.
Nah, it was like at least
Not that
It
quick,
wasn't.
mate.
We were leaving. I literally finished it and rang. You remember because they were waiting for me. It's like a 10-second delay.
Oh, so I thought it was more.
Nah, I thought it was like a minute, to be honest.
No, but
Yeah.
at the time I thought it was live, and I was absolutely like, I remember you taking a video of me, and I thought, oh my God, so please, I'm so nervous.
Nah,
I'm so nervous here, man.
you
But they
would
stopped
be.
doing it live because of the transfer deadline day.
From Arsenal, huh?
When they used to just run up, just do random things. Hey, look at the stuff on YouTube. There's so many funny things that go on.
I know we're thinking the exact
Yeah,
same.
but there's so many of them though. There's so many.
those,
of them.
those poor reporters would be like, and Ozil is just signed for Arsenal, and then there's just the most heinous things getting shoved in their head. Like, it's
The objects
awful.
are crazy.
No.
And then the things going on in the background. So it's like, I think one at Norwich, like Carrow Road, and people are just in the background just doing some of the worst things against the fences and stuff.
Yeah, it's horrible. Absolutely. Did they just stop doing that altogether, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they do it. I guess it's not as big of a deal anymore.
Well, it's kind of annoying now, and don't get me wrong, I love reading his tweets, but
Fabrizio.
Fabrizio Romano just gets everything. There's like, it is great because you know so much more in comparison to 10 years ago, but there is less excitement, like waking up and seeing like, oh my God, like Chelsea have signed so-and-so. Now, 4 days in advance, like we know Enzo Maresca is going to be the new manager. He hasn't been announced by the club or anything,
Yeah.
but like everyone's like, oh, that's Chelsea's new gaffer. Yeah, it's a bit strange.
Takes the
but
fun out of it a little bit, doesn't it? The excitement.
how did you find the rest of that season then? Did you kind of kick on from there?
Yeah, I had everyone started coming back from injury, and I stayed in, and we were getting good results. Got like a string of wins in a row, and I think it kind of turned our season around, honestly. Went into kind of a similar break to this. I don't know what it was. It wasn't an international break, but we just had like a break in the season, and came back, and everyone was healthy, and he decided to go with the older guys, and I just kind of played kind of sporadically throughout that until the playoffs, actually, and then someone got hurt again, and it was our last game of the season, or playoff game. It wasn't supposed to be our last game of the season, but unfortunately it was, and we lost. Yeah, but got to play in that.
Bro, that was Union, right?
Yeah.
Bro, 25,000 people, like, sell out, flares, the whole 9 yards, and, like, you were starting playing that match. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Just a year on from playing in front of, like, no crowds at Duke on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's a big change.
Do you feel the crowd when you... Because Cincy has really good fans as well.
Yeah, they do have big fans. I think I noticed it more like in warm-ups and stuff like that, and that's the only time I really noticed it. But when we played against Messi, and it was at home, and the whole stadium is like just Argentina or Inter Miami jerseys, and it's usually like just straight Cincy. It was kind of crazy, and there was like a huge roar when he came out.
Bro, what was that like playing against him?
That was insane, man. That was actually one of the craziest things. I went into that game honestly, and I was like, "There's no pressure," because I think he had scored in every single game that he played in the MLS so far, and I was like I'm going against him, like I'm most likely gonna go against him. Like there's no pressure. I can just go out and just like do my best.
Did you like check the team sheet to see if he was actually playing?
Yeah, I get my ankles taped before the game, and so I go get my ankles taped. I come back into the locker room, and then I see their lineup up there on the board, and I see Messi right wing, I'm left center back, and I'm like, holy shit.
There's gonna be a 1-on-1, you know it.
Yeah.
And does he know that you hit the Suey as well when you're in college?
I don't think he knows about that.
What was you like to play against? Like, give us like a little background of.
I don't know. Like you've been saying always, that's unreal, man.
Yeah.
It's just unreal. I don't know. You watched the game. You think I played well?
Yeah, really well. He didn't score, did he?
Nah, he didn't score. 2 assists though.
Yeah,
two
but
assists.
you weren't on the field for
I
all.
was one of them was a set piece, and then the other one I was off for. The cramping in that humidity, man. I'm so sorry.
Damn. So is Ian Murphy the Messi stopper? Is that your new role in the
He's your
MLS?
kryptonite. Messi's
No.
kryptonite is sat on the sofa right now.
I don't think he has a kryptonite, unfortunately.
Jeannie was telling me about the picture that you have hugging him, and he's.
Oh yeah, I have a picture of me hugging Messi. Yeah,
That's so cool.
crazy after the game.
It's unreal.
That is so
Did you
cool.
try and get a shirt? Because obviously you're up against him like directly.
Yeah, no, I didn't even bother.
Didn't even try. Damn.
Yeah,
Didn't even
Oh
say.
yeah, my teammate is Lucho, the MVP.
Oh,
he's
of course.
Argentinian, so yeah, and they're friends and stuff. So he got it.
Because Lucho played at Boca Juniors with Paredes and is like best mates with him. He was actually
Yeah.
on the pitch after
the World
Argentina
Cup,
won the
yeah.
World Cup. Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
he like knows Messi,
Yeah,
He's like
Yeah.
5'3", isn't he?
bro. He
He's
is.
so small, isn't
he's
he?
insane. Though.
Bro, he's
Yeah.
applying for U.S. citizenship, right?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be able to play for the U.S. national team soon.
Bro, he is a joke.
Yeah,
PSG were after him when he was on DC United.
Really?
Bro,
Yeah.
he is unbelievable. Must be. What's he like in training, bro?
Ball never leaves his feet. Like every pass is perfect. He sees different like I know like Messi sees like different passes and stuff like that, but he sees different passes as well.
Does his side just always win small sideds? Like, is he just that good that he can just win it every time he wanted to?
He's neutral every time, man.
Is he?
Neutral, yeah.
To make it fair.
Yeah, even it up.
Genuinely, like he's that good.
Yeah.
Because I obviously have watched a lot of FC Cincinnati. I consider myself a super fan at this point. And I watch him and I'm like, he could play in the best leagues in the world. Like, no
100%,
doubt.
yeah.
How old is he?
28 maybe?
Yeah, I think around 28. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has his career just been
He,
in Argentina and
he went
MLS?
Boca Juniors, DC United. He got a move, I think maybe to Leon in Mexico, and then came back for Cincy.
Wow.
Yeah. But like, bro, I think PSG had like a $10 million bid in for
Yeah,
him.
I saw that.
Yeah. Like, he is an unbelievable player.
Can my boy speak English?
Yeah, he can.
Hey, you might be interested in the 2 Brits 1 Yank
Lucho.
pod.
Yeah, get him on,
senor.
get him on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there are some big players on that Cincy team. Matt Miazga, who's on Chelsea for
Oh, yeah.
6 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
wow.
I feel like the way he did his career is so cool. He signed for Chelsea, played a couple games in the Prem, and then was part of the Chelsea loan army, but he just had stints in like every country.
Yeah,
in
he got
Europe.
to travel everywhere. I think it's sick.
Bro, he played for Anderlecht, Deportivo Alaves, played for Nantes in France. How do you say it? Nantes?
Yeah.
You're our resident French speaker.
No.
No. And he might have even played it. He played at Reading as well. Like, just played everywhere. It's so cool.
What a cool career.
Yeah, and then his deal's up and he comes back to his home country at 28. He's still in the national team picture. Unbelievable. They used MLS Defender of the Year last year, no?
last year he was, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So how was the second season, the Supporter Shield season?
That season it was insane, but like coming in, we had just signed Yersin, who plays on he plays on Wolves. He came to Cincy on loan, center back.
Colombian guy.
Yeah, he's just an insane player, by the way. He's so good.
But he's killing it at
Yeah,
Villarreal right now.
yeah. So he comes in. I think it took me like 8 games before I like started a match. I think I'd played like 20 minutes all season. We have an Open Cup game. I do well. Someone gets hurt. I come in. I do well. And I think from like that point on, like it was a good season. There was a little hiccup in the middle, but it was like overall it was a good season.
What was the hiccup?
Back-to-back red cards.
I forgot about that. I actually
Back-to-back
forgot about
red
that.
cards is insane.
For tackles or?
2 yellows. I didn't even know this, but in the second game where I got a red card, the first yellow I got was for kicking the ball away. I didn't even know that.
You didn't know you had one?
Huh?
You didn't know you had a...
I thought it was for a tackle, which I thought
okay,
was
okay.
like...
I thought you were about to say, like, you didn't know you had a yellow card, and then you put in a tackle,
No,
and then
I
didn't.
been sent off. Like, oh my god.
Bro, I remember because this is when this was like probably this time last year. So I'd gone to England and I would wake up, check the scores. I'd be like, bro, you got a red card again?
Yeah.
Like, Murph, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was bad.
But you bounced back from that. You
Yeah.
got in the team pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say they were kind of unlucky.
Yeah, I wasn't playing bad. It was like to get a red card in back-to-back games is bad.
No idea.
One of them was a last man, right?
Oh yeah.
It was like, yeah.
Did you get a heavy fine from the club?
Oh my god, that was outrageous. This is crazy. So you get fined. The club doesn't fine you, but the league does fine you. And the first one was $250, but then it doubles after you get another one. So I got another one. My second one was $500, obviously. But then they said I left the field too slowly. And so I got another $250 on top of that. And that set me up. I was like, what is this?
My boy needs to eat, bro.
Yeah.
Like, come
I was
on.
like, I'm not going to be able to pay rent. What's going on?
Yeah, I remember you complaining about that. Yeah, it's not ideal, is it?
It's not ideal, no.
Yeah.
But somehow you managed to bounce back, got back into the team after that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, like, if I just look back at last season, like, as a whole, like, obviously you don't think about, like, the highs and lows, like, in between. I'll tell you it was, like, a really good season, but, like those little moments were definitely really low.
Yeah, because you guys finished the season, like, extremely strongly with you being a big part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Supporters Shield, which is, like, the regular season title, not the main trophy, which is after playoffs, but they won the Supporters Shield for the first time in their history, yeah. Must have been some feeling, huh?
It's a crazy celebration.
Good night out.
Yeah. Of course.
That's always the one thing after you win something is the night out.
Yeah.
Max.
It's different, man.
Forever.
It hits different.
Yeah. What was that night out in Ireland like after you won the FAI Cup?
Oh, bro, like a joke.
Yeah.
Like, see, we went 2 days, 2-day party. But after the final, when we won the final, because it was like coming to the back end of COVID, the nightclubs were still shutting at 12. So we didn't have like as much time to party. We got in like because it was so busy, like with families and stuff. Like there was no like the queue for a drink was so long, but it was still so sick. And then the next day it was just a whole day bender. It was unbelievable. Take me back, damn.
Yeah. How? I mean, I don't want any spoilers, but tell us how the off season went after Supporters Shield.
I was trying to figure out. I was like, man, I went here.
Went on vacation.
I had a crazy call up to January national team camp, so that was nice. I was pretty pumped about that.
Talk us through the call.
Awesome.
Talk us through the call. I can't even the call was like, it was not as special because one of the trainers on my team kind of spoiled it for me. He shot me a text just on a random day before I talked to anyone. He was just like, congrats on the call up. Like, you got to come back a little bit early, get your medical done. And I was like, didn't know about that, but yeah, I'll be here.
No
soon.
way.
Yeah, so it kind of spoiled
Was he
it.
gutted? Was he saying like, "I'm so sorry"?
I didn't even want to say anything to him. I felt I know he would feel bad. I just I was just.
I find out now. So
Yeah, right.
That's right. If he watches,
I was gonna say, bro, this better get sent in the Cincinnati group chats.
Yeah.
So how was that national team camp? What were the biggest differences between FC Cincinnati and the U.S. men's national team?
Yeah, so the January camp, it was a lot more people around my age, and I would say that was like a good thing. It was like a good experience because they're coming from different places, different clubs. You kind of ask them how it is and get their perspectives because I always think those types of things are interesting because every team is different, and so they're going to have a different view on the way the game should be played. And so it was interesting to see that, but in terms of quality. I'd say obviously we had a really good team in Cincinnati, but it was like really high level, high intensity training, which was good. I thought. I think the biggest thing is the intensity because everyone was bringing it every single day. Because when you're like getting called up to the national team, you're gonna want to impress, and so whereas when you're at the club level, I guess you could have more days where you like
relax.
a year. Yeah, it's a long season, drop off a little bit, but.
It's like anything. There are players that are secure in their position at the club level.
Yeah.
You know, some players are quote unquote like Lucho. He's basically undroppable. Like with how important he is to Cincinnati. And well, I mean, you would know better than me. I'm not there, but I wouldn't drop him if I was the coach at least.
Yeah.
But it must be crazy to have accomplished like a lifelong dream because when you go to residency at 16. That is the end goal to make the national team.
To make it back, 100%.
And do you feel like, not that your career is complete, but do you feel like a massive sense of like fulfillment from that call up?
Yeah, I do. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like if I would have got a cap, then I would have felt it. Like
So you actually didn't make an appearance?
I didn't make an appearance. It was just call up for a camp,
Just for training, basically.
They had a match, but he didn't get off the bench.
Yeah.
Who was the match against? Slovakia?
Slovenia.
Slovenia, I knew it was 1-2.
Has there been any murmurs about being called up for anything else? Or
Haven't heard yet.
damn, well, let's pray. Let's give you the edge.
Soon come.
So the way
Soon come, fact.
the way the national team works is January camp is mostly done for MLS players to kind of give them a look and maybe getting to like the full national team. It is the full national team. If you play, it's an appearance. But it'd be like if if England did a national team camp while the Prem was going on. So maybe players in La Liga and the French league will get a look as well.
Right.
So they used to do 2 matches, and everyone used to play like maybe like 5-10 years ago. But this year, unfortunately, they only did the 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it was 2, you definitely probably would have played.
I mean, we did play against River Plate, I guess, but it's not like an official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a shirt and stuff, though?
I do have a shirt.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
What number were you? 3? Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
That's sick.
I'm going to try and nick that one, just like I nicked Stroudy's one.
Nah, I've already called shotgun on it, bro. These down.
This guy's soul has one of my good mate Peter Stroud's jerseys before I do, and Ian will give away a shirt as well before I have one. I have a little rule that I'm gonna get them my own shirt, but I made some we only had 2, and I need proof that I played professional football, so I'm keeping those for the time being.
If people saw in yesterday's episode, just like Ian's is 100 we had Stroudy's, and Stroudy had to leave straight away because he had to be in for like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And I noticed on the side, and I said, "Damn, he's left that. Should we tell him?" And I said, "I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it if he doesn't want it." And you rung him up, and he said, Sol can have it. And I was
That's
like,
crazy.
"Oh my god, little fanboy moment."
Nah,
we wear it on the plane home.
It's definitely that's gonna see the streets of Bristol. That Red Bull Peter Stroud.
My boy guilt tricked him.
Oh,
Hey, no, but we messaged him after. I said, "Listen, you can just stay here. I'm happy to buy one." He said, "Nah, it's got bad luck in it."
The damage was done, bro.
yeah.
If I gave
Maybe
it
he just
away,
knows-
I
Hey,
wouldn't.
he
Maybe
guilted him. He
Game
guilted him.
have.
disrespect.
It's a great tactic.
Game disrespects game.
Listen, hey, if you have the conscience where you can wear that shirt and not feel bad, all the power to you,
I'm
bro.
gonna try and ruin it for you.
Listen, you can wear yours next to me.
Yeah, that's true.
I know
I'll
you
go.
can't. You're
Well,
right.
I can go.
Anyway, let's carry.
I'll snap my fingers. I'll have one here tomorrow. Come on, bro. Come on. some people have it like that, bro. I have connections. Boney, I'll bring you one, bro. But yeah, I think I don't know. Is there anything
Got
else?
into your 3rd season. How's
Yeah.
that been? For you
First season's
so
been
far?
good so far, 100%.
Good, man.
And it's been new experiences, getting to play in CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Oh yeah, how was that? Monterrey
yeah,
or something?
that.
Yeah. You gotta play Monterey, crazy.
Monterrey.
I think it's like 80,000, I think.
What was that like as an atmosphere?
That was insane walking into we trained there the day before, and obviously it's huge. And then when it was filled, like it was filled when we went in there. And
They're
it was-
mental as well.
Yeah,
Mexican
absurd. Yeah, because it's huge. It's the biggest thing over there.
It's their national sport by far, and the U.S. is still smacking them around right now as well.
Really?
No, we're killing them right now. It's been the best period for the U.S. national team versus Mexico. I love it. Yeah, and it's weird too. Do you view them as like a massive rival?
No.
It is weird because they view us as massive rivals. But in 2018, when we didn't make the World Cup, Landon Donovan did an advert promoting Americans supporting the Mexican national team. Like, so bizarre.
You got a lot of hate for that. Huh?
A ton of hate. And listen, I understand it. He played with all Mexicans growing up, apparently. Like, he can speak. You actually went to the same high school as him, didn't you?
Yeah, Redlands East Valley High School, baby.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he said he played with all Mexican guys growing up. He can speak Spanish because of it. But I'm like, bro, it's our biggest rival. Like, you can't support them. Like, I was
Can you imagine the English? Can you imagine Harry Kane coming out and saying, go support Wales, go support Wales, go support Scotland?
Wales and Scotland.
It's just as bad as that.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh. And, well, you know me with the Wales top.
The first thing I saw when I came into this house, I saw the collection, I saw that Bale shirt, and I spat.
You spat on it. No, but yeah, I'm a big hater of the Mexican national team. Listen, I respect their football culture and how much they love it, but you can't support them.
No, definitely.
It's our biggest rival.
Definitely.
But yeah, Murph, maybe one day, as you continue to get more call-ups, I think you'll start to like them less and less. The matches are so fiery at the minute.
Yeah.
Like, the last time they played in Las Vegas, there were 3 red cards.
But the Mexicans bring it, didn't they?
Oh, they love it.
Yeah.
They actually got the match abandoned for saying some naughty stuff when yeah, no, I can't say it. Well, we'll be taken off YouTube.
You can say it, we can beep it.
No. But I'll tell you after. But yeah, when, on goal kicks, they have like a chant of stuff they say at the opposition goalkeeper. And they actually called the match before it ended.
Damn, those Mexican brothers are scary, man.
Was it like that when you played? Like, were they just so loud and aggressive?
Intimidating.
100%.
Yeah. It's a different type of football. I'd equate it to something similar to South American football, right?
I don't know. I can't say.
Yeah, it's just so the passion is crazy.
How'd you get on that game?
Oh, we lost 3-1, man.
Lost 3-1.
Yeah.
I bet when 80,000 fans are celebrating a goal, it's just like,
Can't hear anything.
It erupts. Yeah.
Must be the worst. Yeah. I mean, what's the most you've played? Is it Coventry or Ipswich?
No,
Ireland.
38,000, yeah.
Yeah.
And even that felt crazy.
Right, yeah.
like 8,000 maybe.
Yeah, I think mine's like 6.
Yeah.
Mine's
We'll get
in
on our level
college.
soon, brothers.
Yeah.
Get on our level soon.
Hey,
But
but
clubless.
Yeah. It's all well and good playing in front of 38, but I don't have a club at the minute.
we play in front of hopefully 1,000 people every Sunday night
literally.
on YouTube. But yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap up, man. I've really enjoyed having you on. We actually have a train to catch, Ian and I. But yeah, I'm so glad. Like, one of my best mates. Like, so happy to see the success you're having. So happy to finally get you on the pod. And yeah, hopefully we'll have you on again soon. Maybe next trip.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very
When
much,
he's got that other US call up as well.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna say it now. I think you have one MLS goal? You have 2. You got robbed on one.
Got robbed on one. They called an own goal.
Oh, you got robbed on that. I think you have the next time you score a goal, you're gonna hit the 2 Brits, 1 Yank.
That's cold. Come on.
What do I do? I'll do it.
So it's like 2 up with your right
On the
finger,
right.
and then 1 down with your left.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But bro, I think he blacks out when he scores a goal.
I ran straight back to the halfway line.
He scored his
It's
first
unusual, man. He doesn't.
business.
Yeah, exactly.
He scored his first goal. He's a big smile on his face, and he just starts jumping back. Everyone's like mauling it. That must have been an unbelievable feeling. First pro goal.
Yeah, I didn't even know what to think. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
There you go.
guys, that actually brings the U.S. trip to a wrap as well. So thank you for tuning in, and I think the Sambone vlog will be dropping after this episode.
Yeah, next Sunday.
We'll link out teasers and stuff. So stay tuned on the Instagram, the socials.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll chat and then we'll get it up. So
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well,
be
thank
ready.
you very much, guys, and yeah, we'll see you back across the pond in England.